I'm Hannah Bird, Community Educator here at the UC Hopland Research and Extension Centre, and together with the Mendocino County Resource Conservation District and the Oak Granary, we've been part of the Acorn Bank, which is an effort to get donations from you guys, which you've been doing, thank you very much, to collect acorns for replanting in fire-affected areas of Redwood Valley. So I thought we'd start today by just taking a look in the Acorn Bank. So the Acorn Bank's right here behind me. It's a large refrigerated room, and that helps to stop the acorns from germinating too soon or from going moldy. So let's take a look at some of the wonderful donations that you've been giving us. Just look at all of those acorns. All of these bags are wonderful acorns that you guys have been collecting in brown paper bags, which is a wonderful way for them to stay fresh and not go moldy. And really, I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's been donating. I also wanted to let you guys know that we are still collecting. At this point, we're trying to collect before the rains come. At that stage, the acorns start to germinate anyway. So what we're really looking for is black oak, blue oak, and Oregon white oak or Gary oak acorns. Now I know it's really hard to differentiate between the different oaks, so I have some top tips for you in just a few minutes. But some key things to remember is when you're collecting, try and collect the very best of the best. So we're looking for quality, not necessarily quantity. So if you can find one of the trees that we've just mentioned, and then collect maybe just one bag of the best acorns that you can see there, ones with no holes in them, no mold on them. Those will be the ones that will have the greatest chance of growing. Always make sure you have a data sheet in your brown paper bag, and then you can drop off at the drop-off points that you can find on our website. So let's go and have a look at some of the top tips of ways that you can make sure that you're collecting the acorns in the right way. And thank you for your donations. So here are some top tips for collecting acorns for the Acorn Bank. The first thing you need to make sure you have before you go out is a brown paper bag to collect your acorns in. Nothing too big or else it'll get too heavy, and you don't necessarily want to collect too many. Again, you want quality over quantity. So maybe one bag like this from one oak tree, and you're collecting the best of the best acorns that you can find. You also need to make sure that you bring with you a data collection sheet. Now this is something that you can download from our website. It asks for as much information as you can give about your acorns, but key pieces of information are what species you think the tree was, the oak tree was, and also, very importantly, if you don't put anything else on there, make sure you put the address of where you collected them, or the best location that you can give for where you collected the acorns. That helps us to make sure that they get planted in a similar place. You'll also need to bring something out with you to help identify the oaks. And this is a great sheet from Kate Marion Child. We link to this on our website too, but there are lots of books out there, lots of ways that you can have a guide with you to help you try to identify the oaks. Now that's probably one of the most difficult things when you're going out and collecting acorns. And you know, in Mendocino County, we have even 11 different kinds of oaks just on this site. So we have lots of different kinds of oaks. And we're particularly at this stage looking for 3 different kinds of acorns. We're looking for black oak, blue oak, and Gary oak or Oregon white oak acorns. So those can be really hard to identify, and a really important key tip is the acorn itself can be really hard to identify. We need some more clues than that. So have a look at the leaf and have a look at the caps. And when you're collecting, if you're not quite sure what species it was, give us a clue. It's like a kind of mystery hunt for us. So if you put in your brown paper bag a leaf as well and an acorn cap or 2, that's really important evidence that will help us figure out what kind of oak you were collecting from. But let's visit with just a couple of those different kinds of oaks. So first of all, right above me and behind me, I have a magnificent blue oak. These are endemic to California. And the blue oak, let's have a look. It has a gorgeous leaf, a little leaf like this. Not too wiggly at the sides, not too lobed. And if you see, it's actually a slightly blue color. Can you see, especially when you see it a little bit in the light, it looks just kind of gray-blue color. The acorn caps for these are quite small, and they're a little bit kind of warty. So if you look at the outside of them, They look a bit like they're kind of warty, like a toad. So these are some good key features that will help you identify a blue oak, and we are looking for these acorns. So another kind of acorn that we're looking for is the black oak. Black oaks have these magnificent big leaves. Isn't this fabulous? We've got these big points at the tips of them as well. They're really big. This is nearly as big as my hand. And they also have these fabulous big acorns as well. So this is just the acorn cap. But again, the acorn cap gives you really key features to look for. So look at that fabulous scaly skin. This one doesn't look like a toad. It looks more like a lizard. It's got these fabulous scales, or a snake. If you take a look at that, you can see there's awesome scales all over it. And it's a big, chunky kind of an acorn. So the other thing you'll notice on the black oaks right now is the leaves are just turning colors, and they are fantastic. Look at the way that leaf is turning colors. So take a look out there for blue oaks, black oaks, and as I said, there is another kind, the Oregon white oak, that we're looking for. Make sure you take something to help you identify. And if you don't know, remember, you've always got that fallback option of giving us the bag with some leaves in it as well, and some of the acorn caps. And that will help us stitch together the mystery of what oak you've been collecting from. Thanks again for your help collecting for the Acorn Bank.